All right. Hey, good morning, Mr. Evans.
Alrighty.
So I first want to start off by saying I enjoyed coming to your class on Monday. Thank you for having me in. I enjoyed seeing my students from last year, so that was a plus. So what I have here is your observation glows and grows.
Okay.
So basically what I did was I took it and I categorized it based on the 4.0 rubric that we use. So we're going to go through each part of the rubric. Okay. So let's start off with your standards and objectives. So you did have it posted near the board, so that's a plus. I have no suggestions here. That's a great job. The next friend says motivating students. Now when I came in, you were fast bridge testing and the students were in their groups. So at the time, I didn't see any evidence of you actually motivating the students or of the students being motivated. So I gave you some suggestions. The first suggestion that I have is when your kids are in groups, appoint group leaders. That makes them feel really good, and it makes everyone in the group stay on task. If you appoint group leaders. Also, instead of you getting up to change the timer, appoint a student to do it because they really love that. So those were the only two suggestions I had. The next category is presenting instructional content. Doing skills block, you were fast bridge testing, so of course I didn't see you doing anything small group. But doing your EL lesson, you use your slideshow and your anchor charts, which was good. The only suggestion I have for that is when you were transitioning, you had to like look through your slides. Try to have a slide deck that house all your lessons for the day. Like I do mine like that, so I can show you on another day how to do it. That way, like if you have an observer in here like all day, you just in one slide deck and you just going through. You don't have to look through your slides. Everything is housed under one deck. The next part is your lesson structure and your pacing. Now, as far as your skills block, I didn't come in at the beginning to see how that went, but I catch the base of your skills block. From your skills block, you went right into iReady. Now, I'm sorry, from your skills block, you went right into EL. So what I did not see was, I didn't see any transition. They are big on transition. So some suggestions that I have is from that time where your kids clean up from skills to EL, do a 60-second relay break. Or do a song, do a chant, or even a quick check. Like, hey guys, what did you enjoy about skills today? Have a few people share, and then be like, okay guys, now we about to go into EL. They're real big on seeing transition. The next category is activities and materials. So you had your writing area, you had iPads, and you had board activities. Few suggestions here. Make sure that the board games are developmentally appropriate for your groups. That's a big red flag. That's something that I got in trouble for my first year because I was giving all the kids the same thing. You want to make sure that your board games are differentiated for your kids. One of the groups you had were your ML group, the group with all BLM, they didn't know what was going on. They were just sitting there. So if that group, I'm just going to assume if that's like a lower end group, try to give them something that they can do instead of just sitting there because you're losing them. That's 10 minutes of lost time that they have. If they're working on letters and sounds, try to get a board game with letters and sounds. Something that they can be engaged in and intentional about. Also, that other board game you had, if you look on the back, it was the simple sentence. Ariel was done and she was sitting a board for a few minutes before you came over and told her to switch cards. So when it gets to a point like that, if they finish the activity with the board game, have them something else to do. Maybe it could be like a folder with some extra work, or have them come post something else off the shelf. But you don't want anyone to come in and your kids have downtime because that's another red flag. So think about that. So the two big things I want you really to work on is just making sure that your groups, whatever they're working on independent, is something that they know how to do, they can do. Nothing that's too far above their heads because they can't even speak English. So why have them write words and say words if they can't speak English? Like, make it intentional for that part. Any questions? Because I know that's a lot.
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. You are saying you was gonna show me the slide deck.
Yeah,
So
I'll show you the slide deck on that one
so
before. And let me know if I need to slow down, because I do talk fast.
You bad.
All right, so next part is your questioning. Now, doing your skills block, there was no questioning because, of course, you were fast first chasing again. But when you went into EL, one of your questions was, what is a preposition? Give me some examples. So that was a reasonable question. Some suggestions I have, because they like to see more high-end questions and they like to see more student-led. So if you was to do that lesson again, to make it more interactive, I would tell you to pass out cards of prepositions and have the students come up to the front of the class and act it out, and have the other kids guess like, oh, that preposition is such and such, or that preposition is such and such.
Right.
Just to make it more engaging and more beyond the basic. Like, what is a preposition? Give me an example. Like that.
Okay.
What you did, which they told you the preposition, and then you told them, like, give you an example. But the next time, try to, like, have them act it out and have the other kids guess what the preposition is.
Okay.
And then that'll make it more high-end thinking. All right, next section, academic feedback. I heard you telling a few people, good job. Somebody had the wrong answer when it came down for preposition. I can't remember what you said, but a suggestion I wrote was, when a student gets an incorrect answer, still praise them. Nice try, but can you think of another answer? Instead of dismissing them and going to another student, give them another chance. And then go to the next student, just so their confidence won't be shot down.
Right.
And I think it was serenity.
Okay.
All right, next, grouping. As far as your grouping, I did identify 4 groups, so you did good with that by having your kids group by their levels. Teacher content knowledge of subject and students. Got a smiley face, you knew your content. Thinking and problem solving. I didn't see a lot of that evident. Doing skills block, one thing that I do before my kids can move to the next rotation, we do a quick check. I'd be like, okay, blue group, what did y'all do in writing today? Red group, what did y'all do in independent today? You know, just a quick check to make sure that they were on task. Instructional plans, all of your activities and lessons was aligned with your standards, so that's a plus. Student work, I meant to change that, but student work, I saw the students writing. I have to delete that. So they were writing, that was good. I did not see any assessment, but I'm sure that your assessment would have been aligned with the standard. As far as your classroom environment, and here it's very colorful, it's kid friendly, it's clean, you have your anchor charts, and it's free of clutter. There's not a lot of area where you got a lot of open space, which I like that. Expectations, your treatment agreement is right behind you, so that's good. Your treatment agreement is posted. Managing student behavior, I saw you use Class Dojo, that's plus. And then the last thing, environment and respectful culture, all your students seem to get along. They seem to get along, they respect you, their voice levels were on point, like they were awesome overall. So like I said, overall, I enjoyed coming in here and observing you and the students. I look forward to coming in some more and just helping you. So that's why I like to say glows and grows. Because you had a lot of glows. You only got like a few grows. And the biggest thing I really want you to focus on is that activities and materials. Just making sure, making sure that those groups, intentional is the word I want you to focus on. Like, why do I have them doing this? So like, what was your purpose of having them doing the roll and write? What were you trying to get out of that?
Well, for the roll and write, it's just trying to get them to use, for some reason, like, they'll know the letter sounds, of course, whatever, the letter, but when it comes to putting it to a word, they seem to have difficulty with that one. So it's like, okay, I want to get y'all practicing so y'all know the rhyme. All right, so just add the sound to it.
Right.
And see, can you make it up? Most of them do pretty good with it. Yeah,
that first group that I observed, they did really good with that. So with them doing good with that, you might want to bump them up to something else. But that second group, no, they're not ready for that at all. Now that would be something they do with you, but as far as leaving them to do it by themselves, no. And then the sentence, what was your purpose of them building the sentences?
Just having them like building it together to see, make sure that they remember, like, okay, how does the sentence start, how does it end, and then just reading to see if they can also read it through and make a complete sentence themselves as well.
Gotcha.
For that, because I want to transition that group until the onto making like their own sentences without like.
And so that's what I was going to suggest. So like with Ariel being finished early, her next step could have been, okay, go grab your writing journal and now you make your own sentence based on the sentences that you work with, like something like that. Just don't have no downtime.
Yeah, I think like using like the vocab, like choosing a set of vocabulary words that we're working on, and having them use at least maybe like 2 or 3 vocab words.
Yeah. So I mean, other than that, that was my biggest thing I wanted you to work on.
Yeah, like I know, like that's one of the biggest things. I'm still working on like my small groups, like trying to get it together.
And if you want to stay after school, my dear, like I can actually sit with you and because that's my thing. I don't know if you know, but that's my thing. Small group is my thing. If I could teach small group all day, every day, I'll be so happy. But that's my group. I love it. So just let me know. But other than that, good job.
Awesome. All right, so I'll do that.